All right, welcome to the CoVis Codex. I'm Skid Vis, and this is the show where I ask a bunch of questions, and you know that already. First one is, who are you and what do you do?
My name is Andre Simones, and I am an agile coach and trainer and a developer by night. I'm managing partner of a company called 180 Services, where that's what we focus on. We focus on agile training, leadership training. We train in Emergenetics, which is kind of a personality assessment tool, which we think is awesome.
What?
Emergenetics. Exactly. Yeah.
That sounds like building robots, like to be ambulance workers or something.
It's almost that cool. So that's a tool that really can help teams form, really, especially agile teams. We discover your thinking preferences, your behavioral styles, and we hope that will help agile teams in particular figure out how to work together better. Also do a little bit of custom development too. So,
what language?
Mostly Ruby on Rails. That's kind of my go-to. PHP.
Oh.
Right, I know. I'll do it if I have to. JavaScript. So, wanting to get it in Node, but I don't just haven't had the effort. It's fun.
All right, so I'm going to ask you some questions that will hopefully get you out of your comfort zone. So, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Tekamah, Nebraska, which is about 45 minutes northeast-ish of here. So, and Omaha was our old stomping ground. This is where we would come drive up over the weekend. This is a long time ago, back when for entertainment there were no video games other than Pong, and so
which was a great game.
It was awesome. Yeah. It was pretty amazing. So, and we would come up to Omaha quite a bit. So
cool. I gotta ask. Every time I hear the word Tekamah,
mm-hmm.
I can't help but say to myself, Tekamah, Tasama, Takonkrita. Is that just me?
That is only you.
Okay, I was just
That's
wondering.
only you, and I know you're not from around here, right?
I'm not,
you grew up here.
Right.
So typically people get it mixed up with Tecumseh. Tecumseh, which is another town in Nebraska.
Oh, that's horrible.
I know, how dare they mix it up with Tecumseh, which is like, I think
how dare they name something Tecumseh? It's just
Right. So
crazy. All right. Who has been the most influential person in your life outside of your parents?
So I would say two people probably. In high school, I was a bit of a troublemaker. And
still are.
I know, yes, a little bit. People might know that. And some of the teachers kind of gave up on me, I suppose. I felt at the time maybe I was being overly dramatic, as teenagers most, are.
Right.
But our math teacher, Arlen Lowe, just looked past all of that, just worked with me, treated me with respect, and that meant a lot. And that's when I realized I wasn't that great at it. I mean, I got good grades, but I struggled a little bit. But how he worked with me and was patient with me, and I think he believed in me too. That was a pretty big deal. And the second person is a gentleman by the name of Craig Walter, who when I first got into the technical field, he was really my first boss, I suppose, in this world of technology. And I didn't know what the heck I was doing, especially just how do I exist on a team like this, in a technology team. I had been in retail before. So he helped me overcome some hurdles with my confidence. I had zero confidence at all. So he really helped me through that. And so I'd say those two.
Wow. You say you had no confidence. You're like talking development confidence, right?
Just in general, I thought everybody in the whole company was better at everything than I was at anything, right? Mm-hmm. And I just didn't have any context because I hadn't really worked on a technical team. So yeah, just very afraid I was going to get fired any moment because I suck.
Right.
And it was unreasonable, I guess. And being in meetings, I was the person who never said anything, which I know people probably think that's unusual now, but in the beginning...
you just don't shut up.
I do not shut up, and I really irritate the crap out of people usually. But I wouldn't say anything. But then I would talk to my boss, and he would, I'd tell him my ideas. Like, why don't you say something when everybody's there? I'm like, well, I just don't know if it's right. What if I'm stupid? What if everybody starts laughing at me?
Yeah.
So.
Which happens a lot.
It does. Now I don't care. I figure, hey, it's entertainment. Go ahead, laugh.
Cool. One thing I found interesting about your little, the two influential people. The first one was the teacher in high school, you said?
Mm-hmm.
If you were to ask me the first name of any of my high school teachers, I have no idea.
Any of them?
None of them.
Wow.
They were all Mr. and Mrs. whomever,
Really?
So that was like, what? You know your teacher's first name? That was so weird to me. But, yeah, okay. What's your favorite band?
Oh, man. My favorite band. So, I have a long, long love affair with old heavy metal. So, it's changed over the years. For the longest time, it was Queensryche.
Mm-hmm.
When I was younger, Judas Priest, things like that. So, now I'm kind of finding new band. There isn't a lot of new good rock, to be honest. I've been listening to the Winery Dogs. Look them up if you like. They're kind of Soundgarden-y.
It's not very heavy metal.
I know. But remember back in the day, they would call music like that metal.
Really?
AC/DC was metal. Ted Nugent was metal.
AC/DC.
Yeah. Kind of, right. So I guess it's more rock, I suppose. Okay. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
What's the name?
The Winery Dogs.
Winery Dogs.
I'd never heard of them, and I saw them on a list at a rock festival called Rocklahoma, and I'm like, who's this? I wonder who this is. And so I listened to them, and it's pretty amazing.
Cool. Have you ever been to one of their concerts?
I will be going to their concert in Rocklahoma.
Oh, cool.
Because it's my yearly sabbatical with some old college friends that we go down for 4 days in Pryor, Oklahoma, and don't shower for about 4 days and watch bands all day long.
Sounds fun.
It's great, clean fun.
Not clean fun because we won't be showering.
We're literally dirty. So,
what's the scariest thing you've ever done? Intentionally.
So this probably goes back to my confidence issue in the beginning. So as I was a developer, I became a software development manager, and then I got into this agile thing, and I was like a preacher almost. I'm like, I want people to learn about this. This is so simple, whatever, and it helps so much. And somebody years go by, and somebody had asked me to speak at an IIBA luncheon. And IIBA is like, I can't remember what it stands for. It's for business analysts. So they have a luncheon once a month or once a quarter, and it was at, I don't know, what is it, Anthony's Steakhouse on 72nd, and they wanted me to be the speaker. And there's like 70, 80 people there, and I'd never in my life spoken in front of that many people. I mean, I was nervous when I had a meeting with 10 people in it.
Yeah.
I had the option to say no, and that was kind of my first instinct. But then I thought, I have to do this. I just have to do it. So I didn't sleep for about the week before, and I kept thinking, well, maybe I can back out of it, but I didn't. I went through with it, and it ended up going pretty well, but it just was scary.
Yeah,
so.
It's easy to say no to something like that,
Mm-hmm.
but then what happens after you say no, it's like you just spend the next few days or whatever kicking yourself for giving up on something that seems so simple to do,
Yep,
But
exactly.
at the same time, when you say yes, it doesn't seem like a simple thing. It sounds like it's the
Right.
worst thing ever.
Right.
At least to me. So
Yeah.
So I understand that feeling. What is one surprising thing about you?
Wow, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. A surprising thing about me. I don't know if there's anything. I'm so boring.
You're so vanilla.
I'm so vanilla. Other than, I guess in the professional world, people don't know that I'm a metalhead. I like
right,
to
I
have
was
my metal
thinking
on.
that's probably
you know?
the most surprising thing is that you like heavy metal.
Yeah, and when I was younger, I thought for sure I was going to be in a metal band, and I wanted to move out to California and just leave it all here, quit college. Little problem, I wasn't that good. So, and I think I recognized that.
I think to be in a metal band, don't you need to have long hair?
And I did.
You did? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'd like to see a picture of that.
Oh, they're out there. They're out there.
All right. Do you have a favorite movie or a favorite book?
So movies, for some reason, I don't know why this is, I love really tragic movies. So I guess it would almost be a collection of tragic movies. So Pan's Labyrinth, I don't know, it's probably one of my top 3 movies, and that's very, very tragic.
That's the one that's in Spanish, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It is depressing and tragic, and for some reason I love it. Memento.
Oh, I love that movie.
That is, that's one of my all-time favorites right there. It's just has not been a movie since and before that movie. It is just, it's one of those things you have to just watch. And it's very tragic.
Mm-hmm.
It's extremely, so I have this theme of tragic movies. I'll stop at my third one here is The Mist. Have you heard of The Mist?
The Mist.
You should rent The Mist.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's a Stephen King thing, and these people get trapped in a gas or grocery store, and these monsters from another dimension. And the ending is very tragic. I won't ruin it for everybody here.
Don't
It's extremely tragic, though. So,
wow. How about books? Any books?
I don't read books.
You don't read?
The last book I read, I think, novel that I read, usually it's text deep, like computer books.
Right, yeah.
The last book I read was Cell by Stephen King. And it was...
That's that one they turned into a movie, right, with Jennifer Lopez? No?
I don't know if they sell, or is it the cell... If you already got a cell phone call at the same time, and it scrambled everybody's brain, and they all turned into, like zombie-type people.
Okay, definitely not the Jennifer
Definitely
Lopez.
not that one, yeah. So that was the last... And it was okay, I suppose.
Okay.
So...
Cool. If you could instantly master a new skill, what would it be?
Instantly. I would master construction, handyman things,
Fixing stuff. Huh?
fixing stuff. My father-in-law built his own house. Whenever we have something that needs to be done, we have him come over and I hold the hammer for him. It's like, give me that hammer. I'm like, what is? Oh, that's a hammer.
This is the hammer.
This is the hammer.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So I just, he can do electrician stuff, plumbing. I am extremely challenged, and I find that many times I've been in situations where I wish that I would have known those things. Mm-hmm. I think I did a little bit of volunteer work back with the tornadoes in Alabama. Alabama is 4 or 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. My daughter and I went down there for, it was a week just to do relief work. I think it was around Birmingham in that area. Well, I can't do anything. I don't know how to do construction, and I get the concept, but I just suck at it really bad. So I'm the guy that does let's clean the trees out, let's, stuff like that. I feel like I can't do anything useful. So that would be the skill that I would just snap my fingers and there you go.
Yeah, that's a really good skill to have. Being a homeowner, I like listening to people on Twitter or Facebook when it's storming out.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, "Oh, I love the rain and the storms." And as a homeowner, I'm like, "No, that means something can go wrong."
Right.
And I don't know how to fix it.
Right.
So it terrifies me, but I don't think I'd be so worried if I was a better handyman.
Right.
Do you karaoke?
This is so funny that you ask this because this is perfect timing. Normally I would say no, but this last Friday I went out with an old high school friend that was a year younger than me, and we went to a bar. We went to a karaoke bar. He was like, "Let's do karaoke together." I'm like, "No, sure." And
was there a drink in between each no?
There may have been several, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. We did Billy Joel Piano Man. That's even though I'm a metal
classic
guy, I don't like singing that stuff in karaoke because it's hard.
Right.
So it was a lot of fun.
Good.
So maybe that's a change. It's a whole
It's a new thing for you.
You know
which bar you went to?
Goldie's.
Goldie's.
On 103rd and Fort ish.
Cool.
So
it's awesome.
Yeah.
Welcome to karaoke.
I know.
What would you like to be known for?
I think honestly, I'd like to be known for being in this world of agile and team building and things like that. I'd like to be known, I guess, to practice what I preach. That's sometimes a hard thing to do, you know. What we teach is servant leadership and self-organizing teams, and I'd like to be known to really have made a difference. The goal is to make people's lives better and happier at work, in whatever they're doing, and I'd like to be known for getting the job done, I suppose.
That's good. Do you have a favorite party game? It could be a board game or a card game or a drinking game, whatever.
It's been a while for the drinking games. My goodness. You might know what I'm going to say. Have you heard of Cards Against Humanity?
Right. Sitting right
It's
over there. This is
Yeah.
really cool because every time somebody says that as their favorite game, I add them to this list in my head.
Of that kind of person?
Who I'm going to invite to,
Oh, yeah.
to this little get-together.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
So, yeah, it's insane. All right. How would your friends describe you?
Oh, my goodness. You'd think I would have an answer. How would they describe me?
Do you have friends?
I do have friends. At least they pretend to be my friends.
Right, yeah.
That could be it. Oh, I don't know. I think a lot of my friends would kind of describe me as extroverted, I suppose, which I still can't. I don't know if I am or not. I have no idea.
Well, let me ask you on that. When you're around a lot of people, do you feel like you should run away?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't.
You like being around a lot of people?
I like being around a lot of people.
Okay,
I
yeah.
do.
That
I
sounds-
do.
that sounds
Especially
excellent.
people I know. But where it gets a little dicey is sometimes I have a hard time at networking events where the job is to network and I don't know anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of breaking the ice, sometimes I have that's kind of hard sometimes for me.
So how's the weather?
Yeah. And then like, it's cold. And then the end. It's
Right.
like,
And you don't know which questions to ask. You know, you
don't.
start asking questions that are closed-ended or whatever, you know, so they're just really quick answers.
right.
Yeah, that's a skill in and of itself,
It
is
is.
breaking the ice.
It is.
That's actually the whole point behind this little thing we do here,
Mhm.
is by me asking you these questions, which are not work-related,
Mm-hmm.
if somebody sees you in an event and they've seen you on this show, they know that you're a metalhead, so they can,
Start talking about
something
Judas
else
Priest.
to talk about. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, on the other side, how would your enemies describe you? Do you have enemies?
I probably do. I'm assuming I do. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I can answer that.
No?
I don't know. I mean, sometimes I get okay. Let me take that back. Okay, sorry. It's all flowing in.
Coming back now.
Probably they would say I always think I'm right. My wife says I have the only child syndrome.
Mhm.
Because it's always my way. I get my way because and I'm always right. And I do have a hard time with that, to be honest. Sometimes it's hard for me to really step in, look at somebody else, where somebody else is coming from, given their background, their experience, where they are in their life at this moment. So I'm like, well, they should think like me, and I know everybody has a tendency to do
Why
that.
doesn't everyone know what I know?
I know exactly, right?
What's wrong with you people?
So,
Do you have a difficult time admitting that you're wrong?
yeah.
If
I
you
think
know
so.
that you're wrong?
If I know I'm wrong, no.
Yeah, no.
If I know I'm wrong, I mean, because I've learned that even if I screw up and nobody else knows it, I'm like, hey everybody, I messed up. I did this. I was completely wrong.
That's good.
I think that's part of the job too of being a Scrum Master. It's kind of you kind of want to mother hen the team, and there's a lot of things. If my team screws up, it's probably something I did wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't guiding them and coaching them properly. So it is my fault. So I'm very open to when I screw up and I miss something, I'm okay with that. Sometimes I get a little belligerent, I suppose, when it comes to the right way of how we should be doing things. So when I see somebody's process or a team's process, and it's one of those, this is how we've always done it, and it works for us, and it's obviously not working, or obviously could be better, I get a little,
It's hard for some people to change.
It is.
Okay. Couple more questions. If you had to pick a new name, what would it be?
For a long time, I wish I had kind of a normal name. Andre is... So I grew up as Andy.
Mm-hmm.
And some of my friends know this. I grew up as Andy, and I didn't like Andy. I hated Andy.
So people called you Andy against your will?
They called me against... ever since I was born, I have memories. They called me Andy. Well, when you're... the bullies, they can have fun with any name.
Right.
But they had a lot of fun with Andy, and I just didn't like Andy. So then after college, that's when I decided I'm going to be Andre. My real name is Andre.
Mm-hmm.
And so I like Andre now because it's different. It's not Andy.
Mm-hmm.
Not that person I was in high school, that Andy guy. And no offense to Andys, I know a lot of Andys, by the way. Like an unusual amount of Andys,
right.
And my wife calls me Andy, and so my friend group calls me Andy, and I can't, because thanks to her.
You still can't shake it.
I can't shake it. So, but for the longest time, I wanted like a Brian. There's just a guy's name,
Well, see, when I think of Andre, I think like Andre the Giant.
See, and a lot of people do.
That's a very guy.
That's a manly man.
So
it's frustrating sometimes when people, they don't know how to spell it or how to, and my friends make fun of me because I don't care if you don't spell it right or whatever, but don't call me Andrea.
Well, yeah. That's almost an intentional mistake.
It is, and people they'll write down you go to a restaurant, or whatever, and they'll say, "Can I have your name for the order?" And Andre, and they'll put an Annie, and they're like, "Andrea." I'm like, it happens quite a bit, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
All right. So you already changed your name from Andy to Andre.
Yeah, kind of did.
It's not sticking very well.
It's not sticking,
but
maybe someday. Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever had any broken bones?
Never.
Really?
Never.
Played it safe your whole life.
Played it safe. I wasn't a sports person, and I played it safe. I was very careful, and the thought of breaking a bone terrifies me.
Really?
Yes, it's one of those things that just. Gosh, what UFC fighter broke his leg? Anders. I can't remember his name, but he remember this.
Sure.
He did a kick.
Anders.
And yes, Silva Ander. But I can't remember his name. Right. But he and his leg, his shin, just snapped in half.
Oh yeah.
And his leg wrapped around the other guy's leg.
That was painful.
Those kinds, yes. Yeah. Those things they literally terrify me and gross me out. I can watch somebody having an operation and cuts, blood, whatever. But for some reason, broken bones completely terrify. I have a lot of friends who have broken arms, and their back of their hand is laying back on their, and I just don't know how they survived that.
When I was a kid, I broke my finger, my pinky, and it gives me the unique ability to do this.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, and I that's my only party trick. I'm like, can you do this?
It's like you're a superhero,
right? So that's the benefit of broken bones.
There you go.
You can do something usually that someone else can't.
I need to rethink this whole thing, then, don't I?
So you've never had any stitches either?
No. Well, not from accidents. I had my appendix out, but that doesn't count. They did staples, but no big. No, I've never had stitches. Wow, I have really lived a boring life, haven't I?
That dude from Broken.
I wish. Yeah.
You survive everything.
Everything. That's right.
All right. Last question. Do you have anything to pitch?
Oh, do I have anything to pitch? We will be having we've created an Omaha Startups Meetup group, and we're having our first session here on May 2nd. And the purpose of this meetup group is to really kind of build a community where we learn. There's a lot of areas in the startup world that are just kind of perplexing, like online marketing, of course, Lean Startup. There's already a Lean Startup group. What legal things, just kind of things that we as 180 Services have kind of been like, I wonder, and so this will be a time where we're gonna have 4 categories or 4 areas, which is legal, SEO, online marketing, Lean Startup, and then from a culture perspective, like how to build a true agile culture. I don't care about Scrum. I don't care about those things. I mean, really, the culture so you can work together. So anyway, so that's that. It's May 2nd. It's from 10 to 2. We're not sure if that's a great time or not, but there's some people that you see there's interest in it already. There'll be free food, so we don't know.
Is the event itself free?
It's free, all free.
Okay.
Yep. It's just we want to network and shamelessly plug each other. Just let's promote each other. I'd love it if startups, give other startups, but just things like that, and it'll be a lot of fun. I hope so.
Are you doing all the speaking?
I'm not. We have 3 other people. We have Patty Vinoy will be talking about the legal aspects to think about. We have a friend of mine, Nabil Molai, who will be talking about SEO, and he's been doing this for several years. We have Shane Reeser will be doing the Lean Startup perspective. Each one of us are going to talk. We're thinking it's going to be about 45 minutes each.
Wait, each one's going to talk 45 minutes?
Probably, yes. Wow. So we're kind of winging this thing here. We're kind of I hope, and this is how I like to honestly run most things. I like to be very organic and free flowing and informal. Preferably no slides, no, nothing like that. Let's just
like a Q&A.
That's the goal in this.
Sounds cool.
So. And then also we have set up some, if anybody's interested in some Agile Foundation classes. We've set one up in Lincoln in June, another one in Omaha in June. They're just 2-day courses. So if anybody that would like to attend, kind of get their feet wet and get some real practical, real life, how to be an Agilist and how to implement Agile in your company. I mean, that's something, and it's on Eventbrite. The class is called Agile Foundations. So,
okay, I'll have the links on here for them.
Oh, perfect. Awesome. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So thanks again for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Andre. And thank you all for watching and listening. Thanks for watching the CoVis Codex. I'm CoVis, and I hope you enjoy watching this show as much as I enjoy making it. If you'd like to see more episodes like this, please subscribe to the YouTube channel and help spread the word by liking and sharing on Twitter and Facebook. Also, I'm always looking for new questions and guest ideas, so please feel free to post your suggestions in the comments section. Thanks again. Peace out.